and Peter. Yeah.
Finland.
In today's rapidly changing manufacturing environment, companies and engineering professionals have to keep themselves abreast of the latest advancements in technology to maintain their competitiveness and professional competency in the shortest time possible. In such a dynamic environment, the need for real-time and forward-thinking training is crucial. To address this immediate needs, the A-Star Singapore Institute of Manufacturing Technology, or SIMTech, and Skills Future Singapore have come together to provide relevant technology-based training for the manufacturing industry.
Singapore Institute of Manufacturing Technology, or SIMTech, is a public research institute under the Agency for Science, Technology and Research, or A-Star. SIMTech's mission is to develop high-value manufacturing technologies and human capital to enhance the competitiveness of Singapore industry.
In today's rapidly changing manufacturing environment, companies and engineering professionals have to keep themselves abreast of the latest advancements in technology to maintain their competitiveness and professional competency in the shortest time possible. In such a dynamic environment, the need for real-time and forward-thinking training is crucial. To address this immediate needs, the A-Star Singapore Institute of Manufacturing Technology, or SIMTech, and Skills Future Singapore have come together to provide relevant technology-based training for the manufacturing industry.
Singapore Institute of Manufacturing Technology, or SIMTech, is a public research institute under the Agency for Science, Technology and Research, or A-Star. SIMTech's mission is to develop high-value manufacturing technologies and human capital to enhance the competitiveness of Singapore industry. Through a strategic collaboration with industry partners and R&D efforts over the years, SIMTech has generated in-depth knowledge and capabilities through over 300 industry projects annually. This know-how and experience allow our researchers to transfer and upgrade workforce skills aimed at productivity improvement and business transformation. In partnership with the Skills Future Singapore, SIMTech has been upskilling and reskilling the industry since 2008 through a wide range of industrial training programs under the Skills Framework using an innovative learn, practice and implement training model. Through more than 10 years of growth, we now train more than 1,000 professionals annually. This program helped the industry to be future-ready in today's technology workforce, where digital transformation has accelerated, and the key to adopting new technologies is through workforce reskilling and upskilling.
Other than delivering timely, case study-based curriculum, the Knowledge Transfer Office also provides hands-on practical training combined with industry best practices. Participants also have access to SIMTech's state-of-the-art labs to learn about the latest technological advancement to equip themselves with new skills. For example, WSQ Operation Management Innovation Program, or OMNI, which helps companies align process to company strategies and helps many companies to make significant improvement in operational productivity, efficiency, and effectiveness. The team has further developed the Digital Transformation and Innovation, or DTI program, to train and guide key personnel of organizations to be digital transformers in leveraging digital technologies to accelerate business model changes and achieve meaningful digital transformation. Using the DTI methodology, participants will learn to analyze and redesign your strategies, business model, value streams, and system architecture to ensure greater alignment, unlock new business growth, and achieve sustainable competitive advantage. As companies continue to benefit from SIMTech's unique courses and manufacturing expertise, the Knowledge Transfer Office at SIMTech is fast becoming recognized as Singapore's one-stop destination for manufacturing skills competency training by offering a wide range of courses and modules. The Knowledge Transfer Office helps industry in continuous education of their manufacturing professionals, managers, engineers, and technicians in the manufacturing sector. By collaborating with SSG, the Knowledge Transfer Office of SIMTech offers a number of SSG certified WSQ courses, each designed to cater to the respective local industry sector.
SkillsFuture Singapore is happy to partner SIMTech for the last 13 years to provide industry-relevant training programs for the manufacturing sector. Through their Learn, Practice, Implement methodology, SIMTech's training programs incorporate skills training, mentorship, and project implementation. These three elements, coupled with SIMTech's Model Factory and Innovation Factory, come together in a synergistic way to benefit many SMEs across different industries. I'm heartened to know that SIMTech is working closely with our institutes of higher learning to enable expertise transfer and to share best practices, even beyond the manufacturing sector. I look forward to our continued partnership with SIMTech to drive skills development in advanced manufacturing and to support industry transformation in Singapore.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. This webinar this morning is jointly organized by SIMTech and ARTC. So some of you have been invited by SIMTech, and some of you are invited to ARTC channels. Right, so the topic for today will be very exciting. Right, it's about Lean and Industry 4.0. Now, we all are quite familiar that Lean has been around for the past couple of decades. Has been practiced to operational excellence, Kaizen improvements, and all those in many companies being very successful. And a few years ago, Industry 4.0 has been introduced with much focus on digital technology. So how do we put Lean digital transformation together with Lean and Industry 4.0? It's an exciting synergy that many companies will have much interest to explore, putting the best of two worlds together so that the company can be well positioned towards the next phase of growth with competitive positioning, especially under this COVID-19 tight economic environment and situation. So the speaker for today will be Dr. Roland Lim. My name is Ming. I'm introducing at the beginning right now. And the contact person organizing this is Priscilla. All right, so the agenda for today, you can see for the slide, I am having this very brief welcome introduction, and followed by Dr. Roland Lim will be the main speaker on Lean and Industry 4.0, and then how the two can be all synergetically put together, right, for the next 30 to 40 minutes. And after that, we're going to conclude with a Q&A, question and answer. And you can also share your thoughts, open for discussion with a few of us all together. So without further ado, let's welcome Dr. Roland Lim, the speaker for today. Dr. Roland Lim, please.
Thank you, Ming Hong. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. And so this is the topic for today. How Lean can act as a foundation to improve our process and to enhance our business so that we can have more effective implementation of Industry 4.0, the technology itself. So I'm glad that many of you in the midst of your busy schedule is able to join us so that we can share with you our experiences and how Lean and Industry 4.0 can come together. So let me begin. We all know that we are in the midst of COVID-19 and we hope for fast recovery as soon as possible. And therefore, in this challenging time, you find that companies and business are subjected to we call it the 4D challenges. And the 4D challenges include the digital, and companies now are displaced. Many companies are disrupted, their supply chain, and some, sad to say, are being destroyed. And therefore, these 4D challenges become very, very real, and it's right in front of us. And in the midst of all this, the digital transformation is also here. And the new trend in business is I 5.0, or we call it digital transformation. And to help company to be able to understand what exactly is Industry 4.0 and what are the technology involved, we simplify it. We say that it is the ABC of smart technology. And A stands for artificial intelligence, and B for the big data, and C for cloud. When we talk about smart technology, we are talking about S, which is the social, the mobile, the analytic, the robotic, and the Internet of Things. So this is a simplified manner to help us to be able to understand and maybe to remember ABC smart technology. So these are the technology of Industry 4.0. And they are here, and they will change our life, and they will change the way we run our business and company for now and into the future. So it's important to understand artificial intelligence, the big data, the cloud, the social, the mobile, the analytics, the robotic, and the Internet of Things. And therefore, right in front of us are changing digital technology. Right in front of us are uncertain economic situation. Right in front of us is COVID-19. And therefore, important for business nowadays is that we must remember this word from Jack Welch. If the rate of change on the outside exceeds the rate of change on the inside of your company, then the company is near the end already. Why? Because the changes outside is much more than the changes inside. And because of this, it is important for us to understand that the only sustainable competitive advantage for any organization is that you must have the ability to transform faster than the changes in the environment itself. And importantly is, you must have the ability to not only to learn new technology, but to unlearn old knowledge. Knowledge has been with you all the while, may have to be unlearned. And furthermore than that, we have to relearn new knowledge. But beside learning, beside unlearning, beside relearning itself, it is important that we need to translate this into action fast. And if you can put them into action fast, this becomes your ultimate competitive advantage for your company. Why? Because no organization will ever get better if you leave it to chance. If you hope that the environment will change, if you hope that people will come, government will have new things to help and to encourage us, then we are living it by chance. Organization can only get better if we change. So this is important because this is our competitive advantage. And therefore, it is important to understand then what exactly is Industry 4.0 and what is digital transformation. To us, after having implemented digital transformation, Industry 4.0 for many, many companies, we finally realizes that digital transformation is not about the digital alone. It so happened that the word digital is in front of transformation. But I can tell you that after having helped SME, MNC on the journey of Industry 4.0, we realizes that it is a transformation that is more important than the digital itself. So to us, Industry 4.0 digital transformation is all about transformation of the business value of the company itself. Is your business value still valid now and into the future? Because of the changes of the market outside and customer changes too, is it still valid? Or do we need to relook at our value proposition? And what about our organizational processes? Does it need to be transformed? Because like I say, we are affected by the 4D challenges. Your supply chain is being disrupted. And some of your suppliers are being displaced, for example, and so forth. So But importantly, in digital transformation, Industry 4.0 is the transformation of the people. Many times when we go to company asks us that they want to have Industry 4.0. But when I look at the people in the company, they are people 0.5. So how do you close the gap to embark on digital transformation and to go into Industry 4.0? But of course, we are in the digital age. Therefore, we need to leverage on the potential of digital technology. To us, digital technology, Industry 4.0 are what we call enabler. That means they enable you. But the transformation itself must be the business, must be the processes, must be the people. Then technology can come in to enable it. If any company were to implement Industry 4.0 and digital transformation, taking into consideration only the technology first as a priority over the value proposition of the company, over the processes, over the people itself, then you are putting the cart before the horse. The horse should come before the cart. And therefore, importantly, then we realize that Industry 4.0 goes beyond technology itself. Now, if a company were to implement Industry 4.0, focusing entirely just on the technology itself, then you have a 10% chances of succeeding in digital transformation. Why? Because the other 30% and the other 60% that make up 100% of successful implementation of digital transformation depend on the processes, depend on the business model itself. And guess what? 60% depend on the skill and the people acceptance. And technology must be to enable people to be smarter, enable the processes to be better, to be faster, and to be more cost effective. That's the purpose. And therefore, technology, if you see from this diagram itself, is only an enabler. Importantly is how do you transform your business model, your processes, and how do you enable and transform and train your people so that the technology can enable and enhance their job creation, value creation itself. This is most important itself. And therefore, if you go further, in the age of Industry 4.0 and digital transformation, there are basically three important value propositions. Now, company compete in the industry, company are able to have customers better than a competitor. They compete on these three value propositions. The first is operational excellence. Now, some companies are in the market, some companies are such that they are operational excellent, customer outsource to them because of their operational excellence. Another type of value proposition is what we call the product leadership. That means to say that company, customers, market, outsource to them, give order to them because they are product leadership. Another type of company is what we call customer intimacy. That means they survive and they thrive in the market because they are able to customize according to the customer requirement. But from our experience, we found that most SME, they are operational excellence plus customer intimacy. Now, this is the value proposition. This is important to understand this. But in the age of Industry 4.0, to be operational excellence itself is not enough. Why? Because customers are now wanting company to be information excellent on top of operation excellence. Product leadership is also not enough. Companies are asking for solution leadership. And customer intimacy one-to-one is not enough now. Because of digital transformation, Industry 4.0, companies are asking for what we call collective intimacy. And therefore, from this particular diagram, we can see very clearly operation excellence is Lean, information excellence is I 4.0. And they need to come together at this point in time. And therefore, importantly is therefore company who has been implementing Lean all the while, excellent, because that provides a very, very good foundation for you to embark on Industry 4.0. But if company implement Lean and continue to implement Lean without Industry 4.0, solely based on Lean implementation itself, without I 5.0, then you will result in what we call the missed opportunity to sustain your competitiveness into the information age. And we have seen companies like that. They are very good in lean in the past, they are very good in lean in the present, but they continue not to have Industry 4.0. And we found that the competitiveness has gone down. Why? Because Industry 4.0 become the most important differentiator that will differentiate from you, from your competitor, that will differentiate whether customer outsource to you or not. Because it is going to drive the competitiveness and it's going to drive the productivity. So if you have lean, good, but you need to maintain the lean implementation and go into Industry 4.0, because the Industry 4.0 is the license to play in the future. And we have seen many MNC as well as many SME. Many SME bosses tell me that if they don't go into Industry 4.0 now and into the future, many things will happen. They do not even dare to bring their customer down to the shop floor. Secondly, they are unable to employ young workers to join their company because young people are born, so-called born with Industry 4.0 technology, the handphone, the laptop, and all the, they are able to get used to all this technology very fast. It's part of their life. But the moment you come to your company, come to the shop floor, they do not see any Industry 4.0 technology. I've been to companies who have lean implementation very, very well, and they look like the model factory in the past. But when I look at them now, just with lean implementation itself, but without Industry 4.0, they look like a factory of the past, not into the future. So therefore, importantly, is lean can be the foundation, but you need to go into Industry 4.0 in the future so that it will differentiate you from a competitor. It will differentiate you to be unique and customer can outsource to them. And many SME tell me that if they don't go into Industry 4.0, customer may not even outsource to them. So therefore, we say that Industry 4.0 is a license to play in the now and into the future, actually. And therefore, in this respect, many companies have the wrong idea that Industry 4.0 and lean itself are embarking on separate paths itself. To them, they say that lean is people focused, lean is more process focused, it's about continuous improvement, low capex, and you can implement lean from the bottom up, and it can be autonomous, department by department, here and there, 5S, visual management, value stream, and so forth. And they view Industry 4.0 as technology focused, very big bang approach, high investment, and it needs to be centralized from the top to the bottom because of the integration of vertical integration, horizontal integration. And they view these two methods as separate paths. And this is not true, actually. From our experience, from after having seen company with lean, and then with Industry 4.0, we realizes that in fact, you can leverage lean and Industry 4.0 power and technology and methods. And in fact, it can bring more benefit, it can bring them together. And therefore we say that lean support Industry 4.0. Lean is a foundation, so that you do not digitize, you do not automate the waste. Otherwise, without lean, you can digitize an inefficient process. You can automate an inefficient process. And the process will become inefficient double time in the future, because digitalization and automation can even multiply the waste more. And therefore, lean method help to focus. Like, for example, the value stream map. And so there are many lean tools and methods that we are using now to help companies to embark on Industry 4.0. And then Industry 4.0 can actually accelerate lean, actually. We have seen companies with lean implementation, and they use Industry 4.0 technology, data gathering, OEE, to identify efficiency, effectiveness of machine, to identify where are the waste, and to have virtual lean team. And therefore, importantly, is that some of those I5.0 technology like workflow and so forth are very good to comply, to make sure that lean standards are being complied and adhered to. So therefore, Lean and Industry 4.0 are not embarking on separate paths actually. In fact, they should come together. Then it will bring the company into higher. They are actually mutually enabling each other. Now, if you were to use Lean, optimize your company itself, then it's a single Lean, it's a flow-oriented workflow, and people follow the SOP to improve their efficiency. And then you have 5S, and you have the visual management, and you have all the other tools that help to optimize. But this is Lean alone. And if company were to implement Industry 4.0 alone, then you have robots, you have algorithm, and so on and so forth. But the greater benefit will come if you can put them together so that they can achieve even higher benefit beyond individual Lean implementation, beyond implementing individual implementation of I4.0 technology in the company itself, because they complement each other. And the effect is even more than if you were to implement each by itself. So we have seen company that have implemented low Lean and low I5.0. Of course, we have also seen company that implemented low Lean, but they have a lot of I4.0 technology. Of course, there are also companies that have high Lean and a bit of Industry 4.0 technology. But the company that benefit the most are those companies that we've seen that implement high Lean and high 5.0. These are the companies that are able to capture the benefit of implementing both Lean and Industry 4.0 together, and they complement each other. And this will bring the company into the next level of, we call it the operation excellence. Remember just now I was showing the operation excellence plus the information excellence itself. And this is the way to survive and thrive into the future. You must have both operation excellence as well as complemented by the information excellence itself, because customers are asking for it, employees are asking for it, your future staff is looking forward to it. And if you have operation excellence and information excellence, then you have the benefit of predictive algorithm that can help in the productivity, real-time data acquisition, real-time scheduling that will increase the speed of your operation excellence. So they complement each other actually. You have flexibility, you have safety, quality, and so on and so forth. So information excellence actually enhances the operation excellence of a company and bring it to a much, much more greater height. So therefore, in view of this, and because of our experience with working with so many companies, we come up with this model of the 5 pillars of Lean and Industry 4.0 enterprise, which I say must start off with the value proposition itself. What's the value proposition of a company? If you are operation excellent, you must go into information excellence. If you are customer intimacy, you must go into collective intimacy. If you are product leadership, the next step for you is solution leadership. And then it's important to lean the process itself, because lean process itself remove the waste, remove the non-value added activity from your processes itself. Then importantly is the people, because lean is very much focused on the people and the processes itself. And then Industry 4.0 technology can come in to support, to make the process better, faster, more cost-effective, and to make the people smarter and has more value creation, more job creation, redesign of their job so that they can have higher value added activity to the company itself. But we realize this for Lean and for Industry 4.0 to come together, I think importantly is the leadership itself. And the leadership is the one that bring the 4 pillars together so that you can bring the company with Lean and Industry 4.0 into the future. So let's start out with value proposition itself. So like I said just now, value proposition is about operational excellence, product leadership, and customer intimacy. And we must go into the next step already, which is information excellence, solution leadership, and collective intimacy. And in order to do that, you need to have I4.0 technology. So that you have CRM for collecting intimacy, you have shop floor information system, you have data gathering, you have workflow, you have planning and scheduling. That will enhance your operation excellence. And together with information excellence and operation excellence, you will bring you to the next step, the next state of survival and thrive into the market. And then once you are able to understand and implement that, then it comes to the process itself. Of course, process, we are talking about lean. And for lean itself, we would encourage company that you need to look at lean from a horizontal point of view, horizontal process thinking. Because the principle of lean is about value. How can you achieve the value proposition itself of what the customer wants? The customer wants you to be information excellent. The customer wants you to be operational. So it is a value. And with that value, we come to number 2 of the Lean principle. Then how do you streamline your processes, which is horizontally? We know and we understand that companies are organized vertically according to HR, operation, warehouse, customer service, finance, and so on and so forth. But importantly is that to bring the value to the customer, you must look at your processes as a value stream, which flow horizontally across your department function enterprise so that you can deliver the value to the customer. And of course, number 3 is the flow. You must enable the flow to happen, remove obstacle. And we realize that when you talk about horizontal view of the company, of the processes itself, the flow, the processes, and the biggest obstacle to the flow is the 3C. The cooperation, the communication, and the commitment to do the company horizontally. And of course, if it's possible, into the pool, go into the pool just in time and so on. And number 5 is you perfect it. So this is all the lean principle, which is important for the process improvement itself. And in order to do that, we use tools such as value stream mapping so that we can view the company, we can have a system thinking, enable the team to look above the work itself, and then to make the operation more visible. And once you're able to value stream map your processes from the customer to the enterprise, all the way to the supplier, which is the information flow. And you see the information flow itself, and this will enable the Industry 4.0, as well as the material flow on the shop floor itself. So information flow from the right to the left, and material flow from the left to the right. And not only to have a visible system thinking and visibility of the processes itself, but once you have the view and the visible view of the processes, information flow and material flow itself, then you can identify hotspots. And then you can identify opportunity. Where are the hotspots? Where are the opportunities that I can implement lean? Where are the opportunity and hotspots in the information flow diagram that I can implement Industry 4.0? So you can see that lean and Industry 4.0 complement each other very, very well. And not only to look at that, from an Industry 4.0 point of view, it is about vertical integration. So you look at this diagram itself, we modify the value stream map. We call it a digital value stream map, so that we can include the digital element inside the ERP to the scheduling, to the shop floor OEE and data collection. And not only that, but also identify opportunity across the supply chain itself. We call it horizontal integration. Where are the Industry 4.0 that can enable us to have CRM so that we can have collective intimacy, that can enable us to have ERP linking down to the shop floor so that we have information excellence and able to link to the supplier itself. So you can see from here, lean and Industry 4.0 complement each other if you were to use the tool itself in a more complementary manner. And not only that, but many lean tools will be like, for example, problem solving using the A3 report itself, so that it can have a very logical thinking of not only identifying the problem, but being able to have a very systematic, objective, logical thinking using the A3 report to identify the problem, to identify the solution, to identify the lean tool and technique that we can use in order to close the gap and to solve the pain point and the hotspot on the shop floor, as well as the enterprise level and the supply chain level itself. And then all these lean tools like 8 ways, the 5 whys, standardization, SMED, and so on and so forth, the 6S, the PDSA, can then be used to overcome the problem and to remove the problem itself and to make the processes much more value added and to remove the non-value added activity from the processes itself. And you must do it in a systematic way and in a cycle. So any kind of lean project cannot be a straight line. A lean project is a cycle. We call it a PDSA, the plan, the do, the study, and the act. And the PDSA will bring the company using lean, we call part of lean is Kaizen activity up to a certain level, and then we must maintain it, which is the SDSA, the standardize, the do, the study, the act. And this process and this approach and this methodology can be not only for the lean itself, but also for Industry 4.0 implementation and thinking and an approach. So therefore, the many of the lean tools are able to not only make the process more efficient, but able to identify opportunity and hotspot so that Industry 4.0 technology can come and complement lean itself. Once you have done that, then importantly, the next step is to go into the I4.0 technology. And this is important because the value stream map that I illustrated just now are very good tools for us to identify the vertical integration hotspot and opportunity, the horizontal integration hotspot and opportunity. Once you identify that, then the next step is to go into which are the Industry 4.0 technology that are relevant in order to close the gap. Many companies I go to, if you speak to the CIO, if you speak to the IT people of a company, they will tell you that we have all the technology needed to implement Industry 4.0. But the problem is they do not know what is the problem, where are the hotspots, what is the opportunity. The technology is right in front of us, but the problem is, where is the problem? The problem is, where is the problem? Where are the hotspots? And this is where lean technique, lean tools can help us to identify that opportunity and hotspot so that we can then use Industry 4.0 to its maximum efficiency and effectiveness. And for Industry 4.0 technology, we have no lack of technology because in the SIMTech model factory, we have technology at the supply chain level, whereby we have technologies such as inventory tracking system, last mile logistic, collection delivery management system, and so on. We also have technology at the enterprise level. We call it the planning and the scheduling, the manpower scheduling, the ERP systems, and the SMOM. And we also have technology at the shop floor itself, the OEE, the data collection, the maintenance system, the quality system. And not only that, but also automation and operation innovation tools and techniques and methods. So therefore, technology is there, but the problem is, where are the problems? Where are the hotspots? Where are the opportunities? And this is where lean comes in. And lean therefore make the process efficient, and many of the lean tools can complement industry, can support Industry 4.0, and Industry 4.0 can enhance the lean itself. And then importantly, in order to drive and sustain the value proposition, sustain the process improvement, lean process improvement, as well as Industry 4.0 implementation, is the leadership and the people. And therefore, importantly, we draw this particular diagram itself, which shows very clearly the leaders, the management, the shop floor, frontline people. Now, if the gear of the leadership were not to turn, the management will not turn. If the management don't turn, the shop floor, frontline people won't turn. And therefore, the secret to sustainability of lean and Industry 4.0, it's not the technology, it's not the process, it's actually the leadership, the management, and the shop floor and frontline people. So in other words, it's actually the people that sustain the continuous improvement of a company itself. And for this, if you were to go to a Japanese company, ask the boss, what do you make in your company? The boss will say, I make people first. By the way, I also make the product, I also make the processes. So therefore, any kind of improvement, process improvement, lean, digital technology, I4.0, to me, is actually people development. You cannot be wanting to make the process successful, the technology successful, that the people fail. Then the whole project will fail. And therefore, importantly, is that, of course, we want to have from a company point of view, the company POV, we want to have the output, we want to have new product, quality, quantity, time. We call it the doing part. But guess what? The input to enable the output, to me, after working with so many companies, is the people's POV, people's point of view. This is the input, the people mindset of continuous improvement, the well-being of people. How do you motivate? How do you engage them when you want to have Industry 4.0 technology into the company itself? That is the being part, to prepare the people, to motivate the people, to change the mindset of people, because Lean itself without Industry 4.0 will not bring you to the future. But Industry 4.0 without Lean itself, then you may be automating a lot of waste, a lot of non-value added activity along your processes itself. And that also is not effective and efficient itself. And therefore, the two must come together. And in that sense, therefore, the leadership play a critical role in this age and point in time. To us, we always say that the critical skill of this century is not what you know itself, because there are so many changes, so many uncertainties, so many technology and methods that we can use. But more importantly is how we can assess what other people know and work together. The Lean people, the Industry 4.0, and how we can come together. And therefore, we always say that it is not so much how much that you know that matters, but more importantly is how much access you have to other people and how we can come together, work together. So as a leader, it's not how intelligent you are as a leader, but I think more importantly is as a leader is how much intelligence we as a leader can draw from a team member and put to good use. We call it collective wisdom itself, so that we can combine the Lean methodology and methods and tools together with the Industry 4.0 technology and come together, bring the company to a higher level of operation excellence as well as information excellence itself. And therefore, these are what we call the 5 pillars of Lean and Industry 4.0 enterprise, whereby you have the process, the Lean processes, Industry 4.0 technology, both enabling the people. But more importantly is the development of the people and the leadership itself, so that together we can bring much more value to the company and we can go through this difficult time to survive and thrive into the future. And therefore we are glad to announce that we have a 2-day program to make the company how to learn more about Lean, more about Industry 4.0, and how to marry the two together. So this is on the 15th and 21st of July itself at our model factory, if everything is okay. And then from day one, we will talk about how Lean, more in depth into Lean and Industry 4.0, the principle, how to identify the ways, and what are the Lean methods and tools that we can use in order to make the process more efficient. And day 2, we then look at the Industry 4.0 technology. And for Industry 4.0 technology, we have the SIMTech model factory, which has all the technology to enable a manufacturing company to operate efficiently and effectively, both at the supply chain level, enterprise level, as well as the shop floor technology. And that is where we can then coach you and help and train you to identify where are the Industry 4.0 tools that can complement Lean itself, and so that we can then be able to present using the A3 report as a tool for both Industry 4.0 and Lean itself, so that after the 2-day program, then the participant and the company will be able to understand how Lean and Industry 4.0 can come together and complement each other. So this is a 2-day, full-day session conducted at the SIMTech model factory. And for the cost itself, for international participant, is 1070. But if you are SME, if you are a participant by SME, it's $121. But if you come from an international participant, so-called MNC, for example, but Singapore citizen, 39 years and below, then it's 321. But if you are a Singapore citizen, 40 years and above, then it's also 121. So therefore, it's very cost-effective, very effective way to understand how Lean Industry 4.0 can come together and bring the company to much, much greater height. And we have been working for manufacturing company for a long time. And we have, into our Lean project implementation, we've done over 300 companies and over 1,000, we call it productivity champion, which has learned the tools and the technique and being able to help the company grow with 20 to 50% productivity improvement in the company, both in the marine, oil and gas, the precision engineering, general manufacturing, and of course in the service side as well, the food, the services, the logistic distribution, aerospace, and so on. So we have a lot of experience that we can share with you in our model factory itself, how to implement Lean, as well as what are the Industry 4.0 technology that can complement Lean itself and bring you to greater height. So this is the end of my talk on the Lean and Industry 4.0 transformation, and it must start from you. So therefore, dream big, start small, but we need to act now. Okay, thank you. Ming Hong.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Roland Lim, for the excellent and very passionate sharing on Lean and Industry 4.0. Now we come to the concluding part of the webinar today, which is basically the question and answers. Right, so we're glad to gather question from any one of you. You can actually unmute, and then we'll turn on the mic, open for your questions, and then we'll get to discuss together. There'll be a few of us, Priscilla, Dr. Roland Lim, Ming, YY Lim, and myself together to discuss and answer any question you have. So anyone would like to start first by sharing your thoughts or the questions? How do we go about addressing some of the challenges with Lean and Industry 4.0? Does anyone would like to start? So the question can be in any category, like what Dr. Roland Lim explained earlier, the people, process, technology, business value, leadership, or any other aspects, a combination of all this together.
Or you can even type into the Q&A or chat.
Yeah, or you can put it on the chat, right? Your questions, and then we look at the chat, and also we can discuss your question. In a short while, we'll also share a poll. Yeah, the KTO office can also launch the poll. Okay, the poll is here now. Will you be interested to register for the course? Yeah, so please indicate your interest, and of course we can discuss the questions you have as well. So the poll is launched. Yeah. Okay, we will be glad to share thoughts in line with your specific challenges or questions you have. Anyone would like to start first? There are quite a number of you. Oh, okay, the first one is, will the course be done online? Dr. Roland Lim? Okay, it's stated over here, we plan to have the course conducted at the model factory, but that's provided the COVID-19 situation allow us to do so. If not, then we can conduct it online. So we have two versions available. We've been conducting program online for the past more than 1 year. So we have numerous batches conducted online. Of course, if it's possible, we'd like to conduct it at the model factory. So this is the one question that come out in the chat.
So the second question is, can I have a copy of the presentation?
Yes.
Yes, provided you join the program. we will send to you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyone else has any other aspect of the questions? Now, these two topics are all both very exciting on its own, but putting together is even more fulfilling, more strategic positioning, putting the best of two worlds together.
Ming Hong, there's one question.
Okay, Q&A. All right, so Dr. Roland Lim, let me read out the questions. How do you motivate an SME owner, probably 55 years or older, to listen to all these powerful theories if all they want is to have a solution and a cheap price of the solution? How do you get these people to be receptive? So, Dr. Roland Lim, would you like to share your thoughts on that?
Yeah, because you say 55 years old, so you must ask older person to answer this question, which is me, over 60. And I'm still talking about Industry 4.0 and Lean itself. We have been to a lot of companies, particularly SME. Some companies are below 10 million, of course some are 30 and so forth. So how do you encourage them? And most companies, when they start off, they always start off with wanting to know the solution. Like what you just mentioned here, I just want to have the solution. The solution is the what and the how. But importantly, they must understand the why. Because if you sell the what and the how to company, to SME owner, they only look at the cost because they do not know the why. So importantly is that we always go down to company for any program that we have here in SIMTech. We talk to the SME owner personally. And of course, we can speak all the way, not from this powerful concept, we can simplify it. We can speak in Chinese. Of course, we can't speak in Indian, but we can speak in Chinese. We can go down, we can speak Hokkien. We go down to the SME. We have been working with a company for a long time already. So we understand the culture and the thinking of bosses and so on. So therefore, in this kind of program, you cannot be attending a presentation and next day you sign up. What we want after this presentation is that if possible, we can visit your company, talk to the SME owner, for example, and then we will be able to convince them in their language, not in our language. We always use a spin method. We call it SPIN. That means to ask, selling is not telling. Selling is asking the spin. Spin S means what's your current situation? And then P means what's your problem? And then if you don't solve your problem, what's the implication, which is the I itself. And then N is the real need itself. So we have succeeded many times already. We've been to companies that bosses have no understanding of Industry 4.0, maybe some understanding of Lean, but after the presentation, not in such, of course, this idea can be illustrated in many ways, and we have a way to make it simplify it. Sometimes when you go to a company, you may not be talking about Industry 4.0, you just talk about Lean. So this particular program is just one of our program itself. But when we go to a company, we say, oh, maybe this 2-day program may not be suitable for you. Maybe there are other programs that we have in SIMTech. Maybe it's just simply Lean. It's just simply making the shop floor more efficient. So there are many steps that the company need to take in order to go into from Lean to go all the way to Industry 4.0. This is a long journey actually. So we are able to go to company to assess and know where they are, and then to be able to introduce them to the appropriate tools. But importantly is to get them started. The moment they jump onto they embark on the journey itself, then there's no stopping them already because they begin to see the benefits. Yeah, this is my answer, sorry.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Roland Lim, for the answer. We have a couple of questions now in the chat as well. Okay, let me read it out. Next question is, any discount for senior PR? Well, this is a SSG policy, like what Dr. Roland Lim explained earlier. So for Singaporean 40 years and above, there'll be additional 20% in addition to the 70% funding. According to SSG, there's no specific for senior PR. Next question is, besides July session, what are the other subsequent sessions? Priscilla, any comment on that? Any other session after July?
Sure. We will get in all the registration and then we will schedule it accordingly. Yes. But at the moment, it's based on this July session.
Okay. Now, another question that comes out in the Q&A. To do Lean, this for Dr. Roland Lim, to do Lean and Industry 4.0, how much manpower strength do you need, especially for SME with low manpower strength? Dr. Roland Lim?
This one must ask my senior consultant, Lim YY.
Lim YY, please.
Lim YY has been implementing a lot of Lean and productivity in company.
Can the question be repeated again?
Okay, to do Lean and Industry 4.0, how much manpower strength you need, especially for SME with low manpower strength?
Thank you very much. The perception is that you need a sizable manpower in order for you to implement or adopt I 4.0, yeah. And to the certain extent, I think the implied message here, or the implied understanding, is reasonable. Yeah. But having said that, just like Lean, where a one-person operation can practice Lean, a one-person organization can adopt digital technology. Yeah. So it is more important to understand how technology can help you, how Lean can streamline your processes and help you save on your resources and at the same time be more effective. So these are all Lean techniques, and the I 4.0 technology is really an enabler for you to get the job done. So it's very context specific. So there is no number that is too small, really. Even a one-person organization can actually adopt this digital technology. I hope I've answered that.
Yeah, thank you, YY.
Yeah.
We have the next question that comes out. Given that there are many areas to focus on, what are the low-lying fruits or low-hanging fruits a company should focus on in marrying Lean Industry 4.0? Any specific example from a existing company that you'd like to?
Yeah, Priscilla.
Yeah, Priscilla, please.
Yes, for this question regarding low-hanging fruits, what we'll do is, in the process of going through the company value stream, Dr. Roland went through with us, right? Value stream, we assess where are all the ways. And then from there, we also do a prioritization. So in that prioritization, it will also show what are the impact that this waste will bring. And then they will focus on that. So those will be the area of the low-hanging fruits where they have high impact, and then ease of implementation is easy. So they will go through the process. We will teach them teach you all the process of how to identify all these low-hanging fruits. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Priscilla. Okay, there's another question here. Cost fee be paid by Skills Future. KTO office, Fanon or Peter, can the cost fee be paid by Skills Future credit? Or Priscilla, or any one of you? Sorry?
Yes. If you are Singapore citizen over 25 years old, you can use your Skill Future credit to offset your cost amount. Yeah. So typically for Singaporean, if you're over 25, you have at least if 25 to 39, I think it's 1,000 right now. Yeah. Yeah, you can use that.
Yes, below 40 is $1,000. Above 40 years old, you should have $1,500 in your Skills Future credit. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Fanon, and also Peter Shi. Okay, there's another question that comes in Q&A. Will you be compiling the FAQ and email the slides together after the event ends? So once again, Dr. Fanon and Peter Shi.
Okay, we do have this session recorded, and you can find it on our KTO Facebook. We'll post the link in a minute. And at the same time, we will also send the slides, but we will not compile the Q&A questions.
Dr. Fanon for the answer. Okay, anyone has any other questions? You can put it in the Q&A. Okay, there's another one, or the chat. Okay, I just seen. Oh, all right. Any other question? You can put it in the Q&A or the chat group.
The other question is, I think as long as employer can use an employee, the I 5.0 is not going to replace them. At the end of the day, it is about job security for the people. So how do you address this to the employer such that when you have a Lean or Industry 4.0, the employee are not afraid that they are of their job security. So Ming Hong, how do you?
Yeah, on that part, what is important is the company leadership must have the commitment and the confidence that the company improvements can be safeguarded through these productivity challenges being resolved. And then it's up to the company leadership to commit to the people what kind of a balancing factor they can do. So in some other company, for example, that I personally know of, the leadership commit to the employee that no one's job will be redundant if they focus on Lean and Industry 4.0 together for certain sectors of the business. So if the leadership can provide certain amount of commitment, so that will increase the confidence level significantly for the people so that they don't have to worry about the job being affected if they embark on Lean and Industry 4.0, right? Okay, thanks. There's another question over here. Any recommendation on people development related courses for Industry 4.0 only? Yeah. Anyone or Dr. Roland Lim, any comments on that? Industry 4.0 only. People development.
Yeah, Ming, you can answer that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have another program which is DTI called this Digital Transformation and Innovation. So within the DTI, we can focus on similar perspective. But if the certain company would like to have heavy focus on people development, then support Industry 4.0, we can have that focus for the company as well. Right? Okay, so one more question that come up. Are there any government funding available for SME to implement Industry 4.0? Any government funding available? Dr. Roland Lim?
Yeah, funding one, the mapping can answer
mapping,
that.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, for
Mapping,
government, if it's SME, actually there will be two very good source of funding. One is from Enterprise Singapore, ESG. Because ESG always eager actually to have the whole industry, particularly SME, go for digital. And then another good funding is the IMDA. If your usage of the I4.0 is focused on software area, then the IMDA is another good source to help you, regardless you are SME or MMC. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mapping, for your sharing. Yeah, thanks for your good asking of questions. So we welcome. Okay, let's see. There's another one that comes up. Okay, can you share the link to check on this? They mean check on the funding. Mapping, any comments? So the next question is.
Yeah. Please let us know, and you let us know, and then we can send the link to you. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. So any other questions to Q&A or to the chat? So we really appreciate your good questions for discussion and also your support for attending the webinar. Any more questions before we conclude? All right, Dr. Roland Lim, any concluding thoughts?
Yeah. Thank you, Ming Hong. Thank you, Priscilla, Mapping, YY. But more importantly, and most importantly, is to thank you, the participant of this particular webinar. We are glad that you can give us the opportunity to share with you on this very important topic, especially at this point in time. What is Lean? What is Industry 4.0? How they can come together, or are they opposing force, or do they go on separate paths and so on? But we will discuss more in detail. We will discuss more in detail as you join the program itself. And we see this as a webinar as a start. For us to have a relationship. We want you to be our partner, and we also want to be your partner. Therefore, if you look at this particular site itself, do email to Priscilla. Other questions that you have, challenges that you have, not necessarily to this particular topic itself. You may have other challenges in digital transformation. You may have other challenges in terms of Lean, how to improve, and so on. We have many programs itself. So this is a good platform for us to know each other, but it is the start of this journey towards helping your company to survive, helping your company to thrive into the future. So view us as that. View us as your partner. So do email to us. And at the end of this session, it's not the end of our relationship. It's the beginning, actually.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Roland Lim. There's one more question that come out. Priscilla, walk through at the model factory tour. So is that going to be included in this Lean and Industry 4.0, Priscilla?
Yeah. So what we intend to do is in this program, right, there is one section that we take you through the factory. May it be on site or may it be virtually, it will be done. Yeah.
Okay,
so
thank you.
You get to see the factory, yeah.
Yeah, you can see from here, day 2, immersive learning of
correct,
I5.0 at the SIMTech model factory. And if the COVID-19 does not permit us to visit the SIMTech model factory physically in person, we can do it virtually.
Yeah, and we have also those expert, subject matter expert who will come and also brief you on some of the modular technology that we have.
Okay, in that case, we come towards the end of today's webinar. Thank you for your participant and attendance. Thanks to our panelists, Dr. Roland Lim, and also the Knowledge Transfer Office, Dr. Fannon, Peter Shi, everybody's joint effort to make this a success. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. See you.
Good day.
Thank you.
Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.